Isuzu Yamada, a woman ahead of her time. There are many great Japanese actors. Isuzu Yamada is no exception. She is a decorated actor with demonstrated great range in her work, studied in the 1930s. Her contribution to film and the television industry was remarkable for her willingness to tackle challenging roles that defined the cultural and gender stereotypes of her time. This is evident in the films that she starred in, Osaka Elegy. Isuzu Yamada brings an interesting background. She is hailed from Osaka City, Japan, and was a prominent actress in the Japanese media industry. She is the daughter of a famous stage actor and received training in Japanese music and dancing. She is known for playing female characters with strong-willed personalities. Her roles in movies, television, and theater spanned more than 70 years. At the ripe age of 13, Yamada joined Nikatsu production company where she debuted in a movie called Ken wo Goete in 1930. She began working with Tahiti Eiga in 1934 and starred in Nani wa Eka and Gion Sisters. She went on to star in numerous other theater productions and movies, including her work in the 1936 drama film Osaka Elegy, which was produced by Kenji Mizoguchi. She starred in television dramas including the NHK Taiga drama Akoroshi and the Hitsatsu Shogo Tonin series. She was also known for her work in stage plays in the 1960s, which netted her the grand prize at an art festival for the plays Tanuki and Taiyu-san. Yamada continued to be celebrated for her craft. She was a recognized person of cultural merit in 1993 and became the first actress to receive the Order of Culture in 2000. Yamada had one daughter, Michiko Saga, who also got into acting. Yamada died at the age of 95 in 2012 in Inagi City, Tokyo, Japan. Yamada made her mark on the Japanese film and theater industry. She was in the film theater industry during times when productions flirted with the tensions between social class and family structure, particularly the role women play in a patriarchal society. Japanese films of her era oftentimes touched upon traditional values, bucking modernism, and behavioral concepts that fell outside cultural norms. From a societal perspective, during that era, women were treasured if they were beautiful and if they came from a well-to-do family. Women, however, were diminished in value in that they were often viewed as submissive or subservient to men. Disobedient women, or women who were viewed as uncouth, were placed at the bottom rung of societal status. Some producers during this era often created roles where female protagonists came off as heroines, independent and self-assured, and the male characters were cast as weaker. This drew a stark contrast to the reality existing on a daily basis in many Japanese cities and households at that time. Yamada has been described as a typical Japanese beauty who has a rare talent in that she is both good in historical and modern films. She was known to enjoy roles where she played a geisha girl on one spectrum and then easily transformed into to play a smart-looking professional personality. She has also played a spy. She brought range and flexibility to her roles and did not shy away from roles that addressed difficult social concepts or ideas. In works that she did with Kenji Mizoguchi, Yamada got to explore characters through a feministic lens that challenged how women were treated and exploited in society. The films that Yamada did may have raised the ire of traditionalists during her time, but looking at her work retrospectively, it is clear that her contributions to film and theater were transformative for the ways they raised women's voices. She was part of the storytellers who tried to show women in a light other than the male-dominated view that often portrayed them as fragile, dependent, and subservient. Yamada's performance in Osaka Elegy illustrates this point. As further background, Paul Spicer uses the term vernacular modernism to describe a film movement in Asia at the time. The term vernacular in reference to popular as a way of distinguishing mass culture production from the avant-garde of high modernism, according to Spicer. Vernacular modernism challenges gender roles, traditional culture, and removing the need for them, and the world of the characters becomes chaotic, modern, and absurdist. Spicer's article is a way to discover if and how the director of Osaka Elegy, Kenji Miyazaguchi, explores this movement in his films. Spicer especially researches how the female roles in Miyazaguchi's work take more of a commanding and assertive part. An individual who is frequently the catalyst of change, the victim of exclusion, and the embodiment of irreconcilable impulses. Much tension gathers within the movement, placement of the cameras, and mise-en-scène. You can see how long takes within the film's editing or staging of the drama, breathes life into the film's narrative. You can tell how two characters feel about one another, or feel sadness within a character's heart, or you can feel that there are secrets in the air. The most mentioned scene in Osaka Elegy is the very last scene, where the main character, played by Yamada, walks straight towards the camera in a way similar to the movie we watched in class, The Goddess, where her gaze seems to ask the audience to judge her, or to accuse and judge the audience themselves of treating women the way they did in the society at the time. Osaka Elegy shows how the world around us is culturally and structurally no longer fitting the people. The scene suggests something needs to change, and we can see how Miyazaguchi used vernacular modernism to show how far we've come and how far we need to go. It was rare to see at the time women as agents of change. Spicer explains that this is no accident, nor should it be read as simply a manifesto. Woman is the catalyst in the arduous struggle between modern and tradition, and between tradition and modernity. Her narrative function is to stimulate discord and to create upheaval, yet, because of her subordinate position in society, she can also be recuperated in order to maintain the status quo. This is due to the way we organize our society in a capitalistic form that thrives on division. This is due to the way we organize our society in a patriarchal and capitalistic form which thrives on division. As Japan currently has low female equality rates and therefore fewer marriages and lower birth rates. According to Manabu Agawa, the constant battle between tradition and modernity is seen through Yamada's performance of a girl who got too close to the sun. Spicer elucidates that because of the expertise of Miyazaguchi and the main actress Yamada, any Japanese audience would recognize this regional suffering and understand the rules that underpin society. Any transgression of those rules becomes revolutionary.